the headlines today from the Punch, the Sun, This Day, Daily Thrust, and the Vanguard newspaper. We are on social media. I would like you to follow us and on all social media platforms at VOP903 FM, VOP903 on Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook. Right now, we are streaming live on Facebook, so you can watch us there on Facebook right now, and also on YouTube. Go to YouTube, type in Voice of the People 90.3 FM, and then you can join our community there on YouTube and join the conversation. Okay, without wasting time this morning, let's get on with it. We'll start this morning with the Punch newspaper. The first headline says here, in legal structures, Anambra government sack market chair secretary. That's from the Punch this morning. Rivers APC alleges fuel scarcity, seeks government intervention. Nigeria needs competent leaders, says Shettima. Vice President who won't compromise. Jonathan advises youth. He said, vote President who won't compromise. Jonathan advises youth. Another headline says here, Southerners must replace IU before September 28th, says Bode Judge. Strike NAS to intensify protests in Ondo on Friday. Now Buhari confers citizenship on 286 foreigners. Now to the Vanguard newspaper this morning. It says here that the hardship as inflation rate hit 20.5%, the highest since 2005. Also from the Vanguard, debt burden, a budget office recommends suspension of salary increase, petrol subsidy. The full story is on the Vanguard. Train attack. Mahmoud's arrest won't stop negotiation for adoptees release, says the federal government. And Wike signs a law for compulsory treatment of gunshot victims in Rivers State. Still giving you some story from the Vanguard this morning. Atiku names Udom DG of campaign council. Federal government established youth bank with 75 billion naira empowerment. 3.1 youth ministers. I'll take that again. Federal government established youth bank with 75 billion naira, empowers 31,000 youths, says the minister. And lastly, from the Vanguard this morning, well mobilized nationwide shutdown. Presidential villa, NAS warns federal government. We will mobilize nationwide and shut down presidential villa, and NAS warns federal government. Now to the Sun newspaper this morning. Buhari splashes 200 million naira on Team Nigeria to Commonwealth World Athletics. Okay, that's an interesting story. Another one from the Sun newspaper. APC, PDP, Labour Party fight as rating pools places Obi ahead of Atiku and Tinubu. Interesting. Nigeria, Morocco gas pipeline project will create wealth, says NNPCL boss. Okay, and finally from the Sun this morning, we will arrest cage terrorists, bandits, kidnapping sponsors before election, DSS. Okay, now to the Daily Thrust this morning. Dozens killed in Iswa Boko Haram rival clash in Borno. And another story, ICPC uncovers 400 billion naira budget padding, 50 billion naira goes workers' salary. Now, Wike appointed into PDP presidential campaign council, Tabuwa named DJ. And now to this day, a newspaper, Lagos impound 4,694 motorcycles, convicts 1,490 offenders. Retired Supreme Court Justice Clara Ogubiyi replaces Smith, assumes a duty as acting chair of PSC. Insecurity, interfaith group demands Gumi's investigation and arrest. And finally, this morning, INEC denies a cop's claim on Beaver's suspension. These are your headlines this morning. We've given you a brief of the headlines from different newspapers. I think 5 newspapers. We gave you from The Sun, the Vanguard, Daily Thrust, The Punch, and This Day newspaper. We're going to discuss some of the hot topics in the news this morning. But before we do that, we have to pay some bills. And I like to tell you that Obed Aweda is in the studios this morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank God it's Friday.
Yes, honestly.
It's like you're excited that today is Friday.
You can see my voice is groggy. Getting ready for the weekend.
For the weekend. Great. Okay, so we'll go pay some bills now. And when we return, we get into some of the hot topics in the news.
If you're looking for a place to relax and find comfort, the right place to be is the Golden Tulip Essential Hotel. At the Golden Tulip Essential Hotel, we offer excellent services to our clients and customers. We serve high-quality wines at our restaurant and bar, while our continental dish is second to none. At the Golden Tulip Essential Hotel, located on 42 Murtala Mohammed International Airport Road, our rooms are in conformity with international standard and best practices. We accord priority to security for all our guests. Breakfast is free.
That's how I do.
Yay! And we have standard facilities for your seminar and training. For bookings and reservations, please call 0815-7003-333.
Ice on my neck, ice on my wrist, you know. That's how I do.
Are you aware that Iruka Online Limited installed and designed a 100,000 capacity church building? Oh yeah, we are the sole distributors of global leading brands all over the world, such as Wafday Line Array, speakers and digital amplifiers, Preseno's digital mixers and studio equipment, Coswell workstations and keyboards, Fender guitars, Mapex drums, Ashdown bass combos, just to mention but a few. We offer flexible payment plan handled by our financial department with 24/7 customer care support system. You can visit our website on www.iruka.com to avoid buying fake products. You can also visit our showroom at number 36, Lagos International Airport Road, beside Golden Tulip Hotel. Iruka, never settle for less. The award-winning pizza in the US is now here in Nigeria. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Romeo, the pizza champions, and cold berry ice cream, delights in every scoop. Visit any of our outlets and feel the rich taste from the pizza champions and cold berry ice cream at 11 Road by Festa Avenue, Festa Town, 28 at Denira Ogunsanya Street, Surulere, 13 Admiralty Way, Lekki Phase 1. Romeo's Pizza and cold berry ice cream. Romeo, the pizza champions.
Of the morning to you. This is Voice of the People 90.3 FM, 11 minutes past 7 right now. And I'm Mary, your knife here, Debbie. Let's get into some of the hot topics this morning. We start with this one from This Day newspaper. This news broke yesterday, but we missed it because it was not released in the morning. So we'll start from here and then we'll move on to the follow-up of the story that is already out in the news this morning. It says here from This Day newspaper, it said cops alleges plot to stop use of beavers, sack INEC chairman. That is the headline. So I read a bit of the story. The coalition of the United Political Parties, that's the COPs, on Wednesday alleged that there were moves to use a secret court action to stop the use of bimodal voter accreditation system, that's BVAS, machine in the upcoming 2023 general election. Addressing a press conference in Abuja, the spokesperson of the opposition party, Ikenga Imo Ugo Chinyere, said their vigilance team, following credible intelligence, discovered the suit at the Owerri Federal High Court, where it was filed since 24th of August 2022. The opposition party also displayed extract on the national voter registration, which it claimed were part of at least 10 million fake registrations done by one of the political parties. They alleged that the names were sourced from both within and outside Nigeria, including some African countries such as Ghana, Cameroon, Zambia, Zimbabwe, Togo, Guinea, Gambia, and other countries outside of Africa. The party further alleged that the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, was under pressure from the commission not to announce a change to the commission's stance on the compulsory use of the BVAS machine for accreditation or get sacked as chairman of the commission. So the news came out yesterday and there was a lot of buzz about it. Now, in the news this morning from the Daily Thrust, we see the reaction from INEC. INEC denies COP's claim on BVAS suspension. The Independent National Electoral Commission has denied the coalition of the United Political Parties, COP's, claims that it planned to suspend the usage of the bimodal voter accreditation system, BVAS, for the conduct of the 2023 election. The National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee of INEC, Festus Okoye, said this on Thursday in Abuja. He noted that INEC recognizes and respects the right of citizens, either as individuals and groups, to demand explanation from the public agencies, including INEC, and to hold them accountable. However, I quote, "It is also important that caution is exercised so that such intervention do not unwittingly sow doubt in the public mind, thereby diminishing public confidence and trust in the electoral process." Now, here is the story. We've heard the one of yesterday where cops were bringing serious accusation on INEC. And now INEC is coming to defend it. But in the defense of INEC, you can't really see the practicality of what they are saying. They are just saying, stop spreading this, stop spreading that. But they are not really answering, because when cops came with the accusation, they brought out facts. There were even videos.
They were showing
things. But now INEC is coming to say, no, it's not true. But you're not giving us a good defense.
The first thing to say here is that I think people have to be very conscious of and have to be very active in terms of the elections, in terms of defending the right of people to vote and to elect the right people next year. I think that is what COP is doing. And a lot of other groups too are also very, very firm in terms of looking at how INEC is working. Honestly, when I watched that COP video, I saw the clip where they were showing documents of people with male pictures and female names, and you even see the gender female, but it's a male picture.
Yeah.
I was asking myself that, where did they get this from? Because first of all, INEC hasn't released the voters register. So if they got that, they must have done a bit of intelligence to get it out of the system, perhaps. And that's where INEC is making the position that, look, this is not credible. That is possible these people are generating materials just to cast doubt on the system. But what COP is doing, we've seen in other cases before, other elections where we see funny names on the voters register, and then you ask yourself that where did Michael Jackson come from to be on the voters register? Of course, you can have anybody go by that name anyway, so it's not exclusive to Michael Jackson that we know, the pop star. But the kind of consciousness that people have is because you know, quite strange. I would say that to find a ruling political party agree to use a system, just like beavers, that actually enhances the election, especially considering what happened in the 2019 election and other things we've been hearing, and the fact that this government has become very, very unpopular. But that sailed through after civil society insisted that we want this done, and the rest of them, we want this to make sure that we have a very solid electoral law in place and electoral process in place so that votes can actually count at the end of the day. So, looking at how things are going, are there people within the system trying to subvert it to make sure that it doesn't work? And there are many ways in which you can subvert the election. You can do this through the register. You can do this by even going to significant voting blocks of opposition parties and then disrupting the election that they did in Okota and in the
Agoi area.
Yes, Agoi area the last time. So there's so
yes.
many ways in which politicians can actually go and this mess up the system so that they actually get the outcomes that they want. And that's what COP is saying. I'm also interested in that case that they said was this filed in August. Now my concern is that how come a case like that was filed? Was INEC not made a party to the suit like defendants? You get what I'm saying? INEC should be the defendants of the suit. So is it that a case like that has been filed and INEC has the summons with them and they have not acted, or something is working in the wings? And it will be interesting also to have COP. So when you make these allegations, you also have to make proofs. To have COP come with the affidavit and say, look, this is the affidavit of whatever was filed, against the use of beavers, so as to put more credibility into what it's saying. But on the whole, definitely a lot of people are concerned that the law as it stands looks good to produce leaders that are chosen by the people. But knowing politicians for who they are, apart from using money, they'll find any means. There can be legal means, there can be other means of subterfuge to make sure that it doesn't work in the end. So is this what is going on? It's good that INEC has said they're not aware of it and they're not going to succumb to any kind of manipulations to make sure that the system is subverted. So we just go with them and then we'll see how it goes. But important that people are conscious and they are looking at how the process is working.
We just hope that INEC will bring further proof that
Yes.
what COP is saying is not true, because all eyes are on the election.
And even COP too. When you say people have filed a suit, you should get the
affidavit.
Yes.
And bring
Yes,
it forward.
exactly. You should show proof that look at it. It was filed by this man. It was filed on this date, and these are the defendants, and the parties have been given the documents and the rest of it. So the onus is also on COP to also show evidence in that regard. What they showed in terms of those lists, good, but you see, a document can be generated.
That's true.
It can be generated, and that's what INEC is saying, that look, that we should be careful about this. But it's good that people are actually watching the process as it's going on.
Now to another story from the Sun newspaper. The headline says here, APC PDP Labour Party fight as rating poll places Obi ahead Atiku Tinubu. Now, the story says here that the All Progressive Congress, APC, the People's Democratic Party, the African Action Congress, AAC, the New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, have drawn their daggers over the recent poll which favored Mr. Obi of the Labour Party to win the 2023 presidential election. The survey conducted by ANAP Foundation placed Obi ahead with 21%, while Bola Tinubu and Atiku Abubakar came joint second with 13% each, and Kwakwaso a distant third with 3%. So reacting, the Atiku campaign organization claimed the poll were conjured by Obi, while Tinubu camp dismissed it as dubious. But does this reflect what the election is going to be like, this poll?
The first thing is that you need to know the population and the sample. where did they take the sample from? Is it like an urban sample? If you use an urban sample, if it's skewed, you're going to get a result in a particular direction. So it's credible for the parties to say, look, we don't agree with this poll, because you actually have to see how the poll was conducted. If you don't know how the poll was conducted, you can conduct a poll in a limited area and come out with fantastic outcomes. If you can conduct a particular poll in a particular area, say parts of the northeast and the rest that are and northwest that are favorable to Atiku and the rest, you may come out with a different outcome. So I think it's about how they did the polling. But it's significant that is the first time you're having an outsider as out of the two main parties,
Yes.
featuring as a possible winner in a poll. We've had polls by NOI, ANAP Foundation, 2011, 2015, 2019. No outsider, apart from the APC and PDP, featured in terms of who will likely win the election. So it actually shows the kind of momentum that St. Peter Obi has, and what he has brought to this campaign, that he has become an issue for virtually all the other parties, especially the two big parties. Every day,
it has never happened like this
No.
before. Usually two major parties, the PDP, the
Exactly.
APC, the
Yes,
but now we have Peter Obi,
yes.
the Labour Party.
and you find that the parties are actually playing catch up to attack Obi, or to find one fault or something, or find something on him and the rest, and are trying to discounting as anything that he has said or the party is saying. So it's significant that we have something like a third candidate that is making inroads, to the extent that we have a poll that says, okay, is looking good at this time. But of course, like I said, it depends on the population and those that were sampled.
Interesting. Now, another shocking revelation from the Daily Thrust newspaper this morning. It is quite shocking, because it says here that ICPC uncovers 400 billion naira budget padding. 50 billion naira goes workers' salaries. The Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission yesterday said the 2021 and 2022 budgets were padded with duplicated project worth 400 billion naira. And now the commission is saying that this is a very serious issue. It said it was padded. It also said that 49.9 billion naira was earmarked as salaries for ghost workers in the first half of 2022. The ICP chairman, Professor Bolaji, stated this during an interactive session with the Senate Committee on Finance in preparation for the 2023 budget at the National Assembly. We know there are paddings, but the sum is quite huge for the padding. And we will say that there is no money in Nigeria. There is no money. That's why ASU is on strike.
Exactly.
And many things are happening.
Exactly.
No money to fund it. Nigeria is running on deficit. Now you see the padding of this humongous figure, 400 billion.
Yes.
Naira, and then 50 billion for ghost workers' salary. But the truth is, after such revelation, what will happen? What next?
Thank you. no, because the fact of the matter is that padding and all these inflated budgets and the rest, they didn't start today. They've been there all through, and if you do a diligent audit of budgets at federal and state levels, and I'm sure even at local council level, you find duplication of contracts, you find padding, you find excess staff on the payroll who are not there. That is what they found about ghost workers. So those things are all over the place. The point now is what you said. What happens to all these reports? Because it's not about just finding them. You actually want to identify those who are the gatekeepers at every point. Accounting officers and the rest of them who do these things. Identify them, call them out, and then punish them appropriately. But for as long as you don't do that, all you have is ICPC. What they do is that they have the conference or a report, and they say, "Oh, we discovered so much and so much and so much." But you want to find the government, a government that is truly anti-corruption, say, let us fish out those people doing it so that it will serve as an example to others within the system and those coming up the system, so that you can have some kind of clean up of the bureaucracy, have people that are really diligent and doing their work appropriately. We are not having that. If we have that happen, like you say you have 500 billion pardon, and then you now say, we've identified the man who is Mr. Koboko or Mr. this one and so on, and he has come out and he's been punished for what he did, then we can now say, okay, we're having some kind of progress. So giving us figures about padding and ghost workers, and then the other one he hasn't talked about, inflated contracts. We know our contracts are very inflated in this country, and other ones within the budget system. It makes for this a good news. Everybody will talk about it, but punishing people responsible is what government should do.
Mm-hmm. You know, the ICPC will say that they have worked, they've been able to bring out the reports.
But they also have a job to investigate and initiate prosecution. So it actually goes beyond coming out with a report. It's a report saying that, we noticed that in the Ministry of Health, there's this one, they budgeted a car for this, or they budgeted this for this, and so on. We've identified that this happened from this office, and then you get the people, and then
prosecute them,
exactly,
and publish them, and let everybody know that these people.
So as a way you do that, we can say, okay, you are doing. But if all you do is carry the budget, you bring an auditor, and then you go through the line, and then you come on TV, hey, come, reporters come, and let me tell you, we see what we discovered. You see what is happening. It doesn't make sense to anybody. But
has there been any time in Nigeria where people's names were published from different sectors, government sectors, that this person was in charge and essence some amount of money, and the person was prosecuted? This civil servant did this, the salary. These are the names of people that are ghost workers.
They don't prosecute them. You see, and now you know why somebody like former Akata General had so much as 109 billion allegedly that is stole all within the system. You know, it was for the IPs payroll and the rest of them and other things that they did. So it's difficult to come with that. You know why? Stealing is actually a very, how would I put it? It's like a large-scale industry. When you steal 100 billion, it's a large-scale industry, because in stealing 100 billion or those kind of humongous sums, you are stealing for the lawyers, you are stealing for prosecutors, you are stealing for media people, you are stealing for policemen, you are stealing for this, so that you have everything within the system. So, okay, I've taken so much, I can give this one. That's what you see. If you look at cases by EFCC and ICPC in courts, you just ask yourself that, how do you go prosecute somebody, and then it comes to a time of evidence and you say, sorry, we can't find the evidence. How can you be a serious prosecution, and at the end you are prosecuting people and you say, sorry, we can't find it? There was one particular one I saw, that I can't remember the case exactly, and then they said that the way they kept the evidence, the bank they kept it burned down. And so they don't have access to evidence. I said, goodness, how? So you find that complicity within the system, that people will come, they will wear tie, they wear agbada, they come to the and say, they've stolen so much, this is what they are stealing. At the end, they go back and mess up the case in the court.
Because they've collected their own share of it.
Big enterprise.
So corruption is so rooted, so rooted.
It actually take, it is cancer. It will actually take tremendous work on the part of a serious government. A president that will come and say, look, I have a suicide mission to get this.
No, but you know that when Buhari came into power, that was one of the things he said.
Yeah.
You know, they said he does not have any huge property, no money anywhere. He's an upright man, so he's going to fight corruption. So we're all clamoring for Buhari to make sure that this corrupt practice and everything, and they stopped. But when it came, the fear of Buhari at the beginning made a lot of people to stop. You could see the system was a bit trying to work. All of a sudden, it went back to zero.
You know when he came, as soon as he came, there's so many things that have happened. Light became more regular, and they will say, wow. So you mean, so these guys that can walk, then we not found a few other things and so and so, and they said it was, but you say he hasn't even started. I remember like Mama said that he hasn't even started, and look at it, body language. Then it became body odor. After a while,
body language became body odor.
And people will say, I beg you, leave that in. And everything went back to where it was and even receded further. So it is that the whole thing is not about looking tough and making tough statements that this is what I will do and so on. It's about doing the work, fishing out people and punishing them. But the thing is that once you have a tinge of favoritism for people who say, well, my own corruption is excused. Some other people's corruptions should be investigated and prosecuted. You find that you actually mess up the whole anti-corruption thing. So I think that's what happened. There were a lot of times that they felt Like these are the problem. These are the thieves. These are the thieves. It's not from here. These are the thieves, and they were what they were chasing. Recall that Oshomole at a rally in Uyo. You remember now when the rally that brought Akpabio in, and the rest when he was dancing and said that when you come to APC, all your sins will be forgiven. Whether you are a big thief or a thief, everything will be forgiven. So you see that.
You can imagine that.
Once you have that kind of attitude to fighting corruption, you will get it done. That is someone that will come and say, look, I am prepared to put my life on the line to get this to stop. I'm put my administration on the line to get this to stop. And irrespective of whoever is involved.
The words you just said just now, they are strong statement. And from the prominent, the candidate, the candidate, if we look at the three, the four, with Kwankwaso inclusive, Peter Obi, Atiku, and Tinubu fighting corruption. If you look at this four personality and you wonder who can really fight this corruption.
Let me tell you, as a straight off, I don't think you'll find anybody that is 100% pure in that instance. But you see, you can look at people by their track records and say, okay, this one, based on how he has behaved, his personal style, when he was in office, does it look like the kind of person that will steal such humongous sums and not be concerned about what to do, and even retirement? And after when we talk about,
if you want to look at that track record now, it means someone like President Buhari, you look at his track record for corruption, you can see that he did not steal any big money when he was in office. He was not linked to any serious corruption or anything. They said he was an upright man.
You can
so if you want to use that analysis, it might not work.
No. You can look at that and say, yes, but Buhari did not do any of that. But you see, you can also go back in time to reports that happened from the 70s and the rest of them, and that were questionable, which we will not discuss here on radio, and say perhaps under his watch, maybe not him, under his watch, it's about leadership. If you don't give effective leadership in terms of supervising your subordinates and making sure that things are done, you're also culpable. You're actually ineffective. So he's getting the person who is strong enough and is willing to do the work, make the decision that he needs to make, and make sure that they are implemented. I'm not trying to make any case for any candidate, but I know that every time people say, "Oh, go back to somebody's track record," I say, "Let us look at his reputation," and that is one thing for me. Even though I don't have a candidate at this time, for me, if I listen, Peter Obi, you see, any man who spawns a chance to get legalized corruption, that is a system that enables you to take out of the system on account of what you've done as governor. He's a more credible person. Out of all the former governors, he's the only one that spawned a retirement package. They didn't build a house for him anywhere. He has not taken a pension anywhere. He refused to sign it because he said it wasn't justifiable. Now you look at that kind of person by personal conduct and say, okay, perhaps, and he could have done it. Oh, they did it. Some of them, they built palaces for them in their home state and in Abuja. Always two. After about 4 or 8 years, he refused. So you can look at track records along certain areas and say, okay, perhaps this kind of person can. You can also look at other people and say, okay, they may have things too.
Now, let's open the phone lines. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call, 0700 903 903 903. You can call to join the conversation. And you can also join our community on YouTube and be part of the conversation this morning. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great this morning. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Mr. Legend calling from Mushi.
Yes, welcome, Mr. John Legend. Talk to us.
Yeah. The truth is that when you talk of Peter Obi's record, it is obvious. You know it. I know it. Everyone knows it. Comes to other people's record like Tinubu, Atiku. Even the stadium Atiku built in Abuja. Have we won any match there since we started that? We have been using that stadium. Even when he built that stadium collapsed one part because solid governors and all these governors and this. He has been the one having a very good record. Good morning this morning.
Yeah, good morning. Thank you, John Legend, for your contribution this morning. The number to call again is 0700 903 903 903. That's the number to call to join the conversation. You can also send a WhatsApp message to 0700 903 9039. Good morning to you.
How are you, my sister?
I'm doing great this morning. Welcome, Mr. Peter.
Thank you very much. Mr. Obed, good morning, sir, and thank God it's Friday.
Yes.
Good morning.
Let me quickly say something about the track record of the past leaders, and then I bring Buhari to focus. When we say Buhari did not steal, which was the picture painted to Nigerians, I remember when he was the chairman of Petroleum Trust Fund. The question is, was any money missing when he was there? Have they been able to track that money, even though he did not do it by himself? And number two, Peter Obi served for 8 years as a governor. Tinubu served 8 years as a governor. I think Vice President Atiku served 8 years. Buhari only served for about 2 years, or 2 years plus, few months. So for me, I want to believe that why Buhari seemed to come out clean, like people were painting, is because he did not have enough time in the office to cross all the T's and dot all the I's. The point remains that the way also he was sacked from government did not really give him time to do whatever he wanted to do, whether good or bad. So for me, the 2 years was not enough for him to whether he should have stolen or not. I just believe the time was too short. You see, it takes only you can steal a humongous amount of money in 1 day. So because he was sacked abruptly from the office, that is why we seem to give him that credit that he did not do this. For me, Peter Omonse, when Buhari was campaigning and people say he did not steal, he did not have building, he has clean Lagos, I just told people that because he did not have time to do that, because he was sacked from government. And that was one of the reasons he was crying, that he wants to come back and rule, pretending to us, and we thought he wants to come and save. Look at it now, 400 billion naira padded in budget, and a man that came to fight corruption is still there. So I want to ask this question, Mr. Obed, please. Now, if you are a government in power and such amount of money have been missing, the general has told it, and you keep mute, that mute that you are keeping, is it that you are an accomplice or you are afraid of your life to touch these people? So I just want somebody to answer me that question, because there is no justification for Buhari that came to fight corruption, that under him we are having all this disgraceful amount of money being stolen by government officials, and the government is not doing anything. Please, I need to answer that, because for Peter Obi, even with that result that came out, everybody can see that he said EFCC should come and probe him, ICPC should come and probe his government, that up to today he has not collected a bottle of pure water from Anambra State. But that's not the case with others. So why wouldn't he be number one? Why shouldn't that result give him 21.7 and these people from a distant 13.something%? I think Nigerians will need a change, and we have seen somebody we have to go for. That's just my take on this morning. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Peter Monse. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, Mary, good morning.
Good morning to you. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Ogalbert, good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning, bro.
Yeah, after Peter Monse has come right up and
yeah. back to back. Yes.
Back to back.
Yes.
Anyway, thank God it's Friday. God bless you all there, my sister and my brother. Ogalbert has said it all about the whatever tests and the questionnaire they supplied to bring Obi to limelight. I think no matter how they did it, and I learned that it's not even within us here, outsiders did it. It is very clear before now that the youth and so many other conscientious Nigerians have taken a decision to implement it February next year, because we are all tired. Look at what ICPC has discovered. Like Ogalde said, he did not start that year that ICPC. It started long time ago. But with that money, is it not enough to gather it and put it together to settle ASU? if you add it to what Accountant General carted away allegedly, if you add it to what the officials, the airlines, who actually connive and steal our oil, because we learned that it is a elitist business. If you put all those one together, nobody will owe us vitalization funds for the university to compete with any university in the world would have been available. But to no avail, Nigerians believe they want to steal. And when they steal, they don't use that money within here to establish so that Nigerians who are jobless can work. They will go and dump it in foreign banks. And those people will use it to, favor the economy. And tomorrow they say they give eggs from US, from UK. Where are those money for eggs for Africa and Nigeria, for malaria and so many other things come from? It is money we deposit there and we jump up there, oh, they are helping us. Helping who with their money? So as far as I am concerned, 2023, February next year, Obi will become the president of this country. There's nothing anybody can do about that. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you, Comrade Akpan. The number to call is 0700 903 903 903. Hello, good morning, Ambassador.
Mary, how are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Oh, babe.
Good morning.
We didn't hear from Rufai this morning. Hope nothing.
No, he's feeling very strong this morning.
This is where my brother
Yeah.
is well. Yeah, to me, look, why can't you wait for the campaign to start now? And you can see Savo from right and right, politicians, so on still. I just remember Fela Nicola Kokotize, which we heard we have never still. You want to tell me that I remember Sunday with Rufai here when we have Moyele Shore here. And he said Peter will be invested and that money is his private account. This question is it big. He admitted this. Look, to me, I'm not here to run anybody down, but it's unfair for you to go, oh, this person steal, this person never steal. Look, politicians always have their way. But to me, I think it's your way for campaign to start. The way campaign starts, we'll be able to rule out many information about these politicians. All I know, I'm less concerned though. All I want is that whoever becomes the president of this country in 2023, if we really want to get it right, we have to put our hands on them allow him, put him on his toes to fulfill all his promises. Me, I'm above this. I could remember I stayed my neck out, use everything to campaign for President Goodluck. Everything. At the end of the day, I got disappointed. Even though President Muhammadu Buhari, to me, I'm not the one that anyone call to come and baboons me. Oh, this person is state. Who is state? Who is state among these politicians? At that second base.
Thank you, Ambassador, for your contribution this morning. You can join the conversation right now. The phone lines are open. 0700 903 903 903. Good morning, Mr. Badejo.
Yeah, good morning, Mary.
Yeah, good
Mr.
morning.
Obed.
Good morning.
And unfortunately, no, we started to fight this morning. And thank God it's Friday.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday, yeah.
Yes, I want to react to this for plans, somebody using the plans by INEC to not to use sedition beavers in 2023 election.
Yes.
I think one thing you should know is that CNPP allegation shouldn't be discarded as there can be outer truth in it. We saw what happens towards during and after 2019 election when Nigerian expectation was that President will sign the amendment electoral bill into law, but our hope was dashed as PMD refused to sign it, thereby paving way for rigging. Also, we saw what transpired at the Supreme Court election 2009 election matter, where INEC denied ever using or transmitting results into the server, when in real sense they did. Therefore, CNPP allegation, especially sworn in affidavit, shouldn't be discarded but investigated. Remember, we are election season. Every party wants to win the election. Thereby, ruling party will do anything within its power to place 2003 election into in their favor. Remember, CNPP is a credible organization that will not dish out allegations without evidence. I would advise INEC
to respond appropriately. Then, as for the recent online polls favoring Obi, what tactic did they use to arrive at that conclusion? If it was a poll conducted by a foreign organization, maybe I would have concurred. But as far as I'm concerned, the poll does not reflect the feelings of Nigerians. Although we can rule out that the forthcoming election will be tough, but I do not see Obi winning the election. Though we make his impact, but the election will not be won by Obi. Therefore, we advise Nigerians to please disregard the poll. The poll to me, it is just somebody's poll, not Nigerian poll. Nigerians should just face the election squarely. Then the last thing, on ICBC discovering 400 billion in 2023 election, to me, it is no more news. I'm not moved. As far as has been discovered in the past, has been made known to the public, but nothing was done. Nothing has been prosecuted. So I'm just, to me, ICBC is just wasting his time. Even if you come out with figures and everything, nobody will be prosecuted. So of what benefit is you coming out with those figures? Good morning and have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you. Good morning to you for your contribution this morning. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. This is Josh Peterson.
Oh, welcome. Can you turn down the volume on your radio set?
Okay. I'm calling from Isolo, Lagos.
Okay, go ahead. Join the conversation.
Being looking at what is happening in the nation today, I think there is no other option, there is no other solution, there is no other politician that can save Nigeria now apart from Peter Obi. So I urge all Nigerian youth to get their PVC ready. What will happen in 2023 with all these recycled politicians? Let just vote them out from the seat. The only Peter Obi is the solution for Nigerian problem. Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution this morning. It's not a campaign. So you're not to call and campaign for any political party or anybody. You just state your own opinion. Hello, good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning. My name is Peter. I'm calling from Kano. Good morning, everybody.
Mr. Peter, good morning. Good morning.
Yeah,
How's Kano
morning.
Today?
Yeah, Kano is great. It's fine. Kano is very okay.
Okay, great.
Okay, sometimes when I hear, sorry, I don't want to mention anybody, but the Peter Obi supporters, I just laugh when they try to dissociate themselves from Atiku and say Atiku is extreme to Peter Obi. It just, for me, I don't know, because when did they just finish working together? Did we in the dreams? Did Peter Obi, was he confused when he accepted to be a VP? Did he accept to be a VP to a very corrupt, as some of the people are claiming that he is? Didn't we hear Peter Obi even go to the extent that in a football match you have VAR, you have to take a second look at a person, and when you take a second look at the person, and you can now see that there's integrity, the word unifier not come out from his mouth. So these people that are campaigning, it's a campaign of issue. It's a different party, we like it. But those those supporting Peter Obi, if you want to speak against Atiku, it's laughable. You understand? I can tell you, it's not politics. If Atiku should win this election, I can bet my money. There is every likelihood that Peter Obi will work with him. If they give him Minister of Finance, won't he collect to come and help him in the government? You see, politics, we don't have to take it this far. We want people to come in and change the country. We love the fact that, okay, there's a third force, but when you want to speak down on Atiku, some of us do not like it because they just finished working together. It's not just yesterday that he moved to the Labour Party team. You understand? So, guys, it's our country. Irrespective of whoever is going to win this election, my own is that we are not going to keep quiet. Whether Atiku wins, whether Peter Obi wins, whether Tinubu wins, we are going to do is to make sure we let government understand their responsibility. That's just our own support. The last thing I'm going to talk about is this issue of INEC issue. Well, there's no smoke without fire. No smoke without fire. This smoke has started coming. I don't know. And in Nigeria, most of the smoke, before you know it, when you check, you will see some fire. You understand? It might be rumor, it might be whatever it is, but they are flying a kite. What we want to say is that this election, please, they should not dampen it. We want a free and fair election. INEC should be independent as they have claimed they are independent. Nigerians are coming out to vote, and you have told us the criteria, the process, and everybody has been following it. So nothing should change, please. Let us have a credible election in 2023. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Peter, for your contribution this morning. He said something quite interesting, saying that Obi and Atiku, they worked together not long ago.
Of course,
so,
yes.
so it means
and they have a good relationship. So until he declares for president on his own, but I think they are still.
At the end of the day, everything is politics.
It's politics, yes.
Hello, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning. This is Afunwa calling from Edimu.
Okay, welcome. Go ahead.
I want to ask question: which guarantee we have about those trust we have by INEC chairman Babu Amuda voting with them? This election, how can we trust that the INEC chairman? Which trust we have on him after this election is coming up 2023? Because I don't see any trust on him. I don't see single trust. Because what I see as he's doing, as he's talking, I don't have any trust on him. Because this election 2023, is that man determined? Is that man going to work? Whether this election is going to be okay or going to be rigged? Now, INEC chairman have the power. What they are calling it, both MPC and PDP and P2B, other political parties, and co. How they are working to make this INEC chairman not to rig this election, because this man didn't have any trust on him for 90%. I didn't have trust on him at all. So let Nigeria fight. Even can go court and ask this man question: this election is going to be true? Is going to be rigged or not? It's not to be rigged, because I'm not trust that man for one day. That's my own contribution. Thank you. Good morning. Have a nice day.
Yeah, thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Before we go, if you want to say one or two things, anything to contribute.
Yes. I want to speak on the PDP, considering his campaign council. It's good that after all the problems and the rest of them, they can see a bit of light at the end of the tunnel. You can see some. They brought everybody in. Wiki has a place there, even though it doesn't have
we couldn't really talk about
title,
that.
Yes,
story. We couldn't really.
It doesn't have a title there, but it's on the team. Every governor is there. Every PDP governor, Makinde, is there, and so on and so forth. With Udom as this and Tambawal leading the campaign. So it's good. The important thing is that we actually want this election to be about issues. The issues are much. We are talking about inflation of 20.5% today. We are talking about unemployment rates, more than half of the population, the employed population either unemployed or either unemployed or underemployed. We're talking about problems around insecurity and the rest. So we need this is to be about issues. We don't want the issues of they are fighting in APC, they are fighting. We want it to be about the real issues that affect Nigeria. So that's what I'm happy about the PDP, considering its campaign council, and then we can get a serious debate on those issues.
Come 28th of September, the campaign is going to start, and then we'll look at it. Let's say if we hope it's going to be issue based and not just PDP did this, Labour Party and the APC and Kwankwaso and all of that. Thank you so much for being part of the program this morning. The front page review, the Friday edition. We'll be here again on Monday, God willing, and I want to say a big thank you to you for being part, for calling, contributing. We really appreciate you. And to our YouTube family, we want to say thank you so much for your comments. Your contribution is much appreciated. And thank you to Obed Awede for always coming through.
Thank you.
And for what is trending now, you said from body language to body odor.
Yeah, well, the body odor has been there for over 7 years already.
Interesting. And to Rufai Hussaini, we will say get well soon. Coming up next at 8 o'clock is Oge Ndigbo. My name is Mary Onaife. You can follow me on Instagram at